They damaged numerous homes in Monona County, including one that may no longer be livable. KTIV's Matt Hoffman was in Monona County, and he joins me live tonight. Matt, we've heard of tornadoes damaging homes, but the thought that hail might damage a home so much you can't live in it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, to be honest with you, Larry. Unfortunately, and yeah, that is the case. Family says once winds changed, softball-sized hail broke their home's windows and even shredded the home's siding. If the landlord deems the home a total loss, it's possible this family will have to move out after 21 years. Britt DeRoshi was stuck in his car under a tree, helpless to watch hail pummel his parents' home. That hail is strong enough to knock out almost every window, even taking out multiple sheds and throwing medium-sized twigs into the interior as the rest of his family hid in the storm cellar. That family devastated.
They're heartbroken. They didn't think that it would happen in the 21 years that they lived here.
Everyone just has minor scrapes and bruises after being caught in the hailstorm at this home just outside of Whiting, Iowa. Obviously, that is the #1 consideration, but it's not clear if the house is going to remain livable. And moving out after 21 years could be a tall task. Windows broken out?
Yep, all windows on the north side of the house.
Siding?
Siding's all broken out.
The DeRoshi family wants others to learn from their experience. Take the weather seriously and get inside a safe place as soon as possible.
Because I got stuck in the hailstorm last night.
Near Whiting, Iowa, Matt Hoffman, KTIV News 4. Now, some other homes in the area were also damaged, though perhaps not as seriously. The DeRoshis do have power, but their roof will need to be inspected as soon as possible. And of course, we now turn to meteorologist Kat Taylor to explain just how this storm popped up.
Yeah, you said softball-sized hail. That's over 3 inches in diameter. In fact, near